Attention, passionate Dallas Cowboys fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East, and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Dallas Cowboys' path to another championship run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before we dive in, if you're a true Dallas Cowboys fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and fellow Dallas Cowboys fans. Let's get to the news. Now, folks, if you've been following the Cowboys this season, you've probably felt that sense of frustration growing. The team, once again, is facing serious questions about their defense. It has been a roller coaster, to say the least. And with that 44-24 loss to the Denver Broncos at Empower Field in Denver, it's clear that there's a lot of soul-searching happening behind the scenes. The defense, which was supposed to be a strength, has become a glaring weakness, and it's affecting everything: team confidence, playoff hopes, and even the perception of this team's ability to compete at the highest level. The owner, Jerry Jones, has been under a lot of pressure to address the issues. And recently, he made a brutally honest admission about the state of the defense, which in itself is noteworthy. For most of the season, Jones appeared to be in denial about how bad things had gotten. Remember, just a few weeks ago, he traded Micah Parsons to the Packers, which raised eyebrows and many questions from fans and analysts alike. Trading away one of the most promising young pass rushers in the league seemed like a move that could backfire, and it did in many ways. Highlight the team's struggles on defense, but now Jones seems to be coming to terms with reality. During an interview, he openly admitted that the team might not be able to make enough moves to fix everything in one swoop. When asked about potential trades or acquisitions, he said, "I don't know what's realistic." That's a pretty stark statement from someone who's known for being bold and confident in the past. He acknowledged that, yes, bringing in a better player could help, but only if they don't have to pay too high a price. This is a clear sign that the Cowboys are aware of their limitations and that perhaps the window for quick fixes might be closing. Jones posed a very honest question. Are we one player away on defense? And his honest answer was, no, we're more than that. That's a significant statement because it indicates that this isn't just a simple case of adding one or two pieces. It's a systemic issue that involves multiple areas: run defense, secondary coverage, overall execution. The Cowboys' defense, which was supposed to be a strength, has been anything but, and it's increasingly clear that it's not just a matter of personnel, but also scheme, communication, and execution. Let us break down what's really going on there. The Cowboys' run defense has been a major concern all season long. Teams have been able to run all over them, and that's a problem because it keeps the opposing offense on the field longer, controls the clock, and ultimately wears down the defense. Injuries in the secondary have only compounded these issues. When your safeties and cornerbacks are missing key players or aren't able to keep up with the speed of the game, it creates gaps that opposing offenses can exploit. And we've seen this in multiple games, where the opponent's passing attack has looked unstoppable at times. The statistics paint a pretty grim picture. The Cowboys have given up at least 30 points in 5 of their 8 games this season. That's a huge problem for any team that wants to contend for a Super Bowl. And it's worth noting that this isn't just about 1 or 2 bad games. It's a recurring pattern. The team has also allowed 40 or more points in 2 games, which is an alarming trend for a team that considers itself a championship contender. It raises serious questions about whether the Cowboys' defense can be trusted to step up when it matters most. Now, it's interesting to consider the draft picks and assets the Cowboys have at their disposal. They have accumulated a number of draft picks, and in theory, they could use these assets to bring in reinforcements. But here's the thing: if the defense is this far from being capable, is it worth sacrificing draft capital on players who might not immediately fix the core issues? That's a debate that's ongoing among Cowboys fans and analysts. Do you sell the farm to try to patch up a defense that's already struggling? Or do you trust that the coaching staff and existing personnel can turn things around with a different approach? It's a difficult question because on one hand, adding talent seems like the obvious solution, but on the other, it might just be a band-aid if the systemic issues aren't addressed. And let us not forget, the NFL is a league where depth and versatility are king. Injuries happen, and teams that have the ability to adapt quickly and have multiple options on defense tend to fare better. The Cowboys, at this point, are facing a reality where they need not only better players, but also better execution and scheme adjustments. It's not just about adding a star or two. It's about building a cohesive unit that can withstand the onslaught of offenses in this league. But what about the future? Well, this season is far from over, and there is still hope that adjustments can be made. The coaching staff has to dig deep and find ways to utilize their personnel more effectively. Perhaps it's about shifting defensive schemes, emphasizing turnovers, or improving communication on the field. The Cowboys have a talented roster on offense, and that's a big advantage because it keeps them in many games. However, if the defense doesn't improve, no matter how explosive the offense is, winning consistently in the playoffs becomes a monumental challenge. This situation also puts the spotlight on Jerry Jones' leadership. He's a guy who has always been known for his bold moves and his willingness to take risks. But in recent times, as the defense continues to struggle, there's a question of whether he'll make those bold moves again, or if he'll accept that some issues need patience or perhaps a different approach. The NFL is a league that rewards adaptability, and right now, the Cowboys need to be nimble to turn their fortunes around. Whether that means making trades, promoting from within, or adjusting schemes, the clock is ticking. Fans are understandably anxious, and rightfully so. The Cowboys have a storied history of success, but recent seasons have shown that no team can take defense for granted. The league has evolved into a pass-heavy, high-scoring environment, and teams that don't keep pace on defense often find themselves on the outside looking in come playoff time. The pressure is on for this Cowboys team to find solutions quickly because, let us face it, the NFC East is a competitive division and every loss counts. Looking at the bigger picture, this isn't just about one game or a single season. It's about the franchise's identity and how they want to be remembered in the long run. The Cowboys are a team with a rich history, a passionate fan base, and high expectations. They've been building this roster with the hopes of contending for another Super Bowl. But if the defense doesn't stabilize, those hopes might remain just that, hopes. The upcoming weeks will be crucial, as players and coaching staff will need to rally and find a way to tighten up that defense, whether through scheme adjustments or personnel changes. And it's worth mentioning that the NFL landscape is very dynamic. Other teams are constantly evolving, bringing in new players, and making strategic moves to improve. The Cowboys, with their draft capital and talent pool, have the tools to respond, but they need to act fast. It's a delicate balancing act trying to address immediate needs while planning for the future. Sometimes it's about finding hidden gems in the draft or developing young players to step up. In conclusion, the Cowboys are at a crossroads. The recent admission from Jerry Jones underscores how serious the situation is. Defense, which is supposed to be the backbone of a championship team, has become a liability. The question now is whether they can turn things around with the current roster, or if more significant changes are on the horizon. Fans should stay tuned because the coming weeks will be telling. Will they see a team that fights back, adapts, and rises to the challenge? Or will the struggles continue and the division rivals take advantage? One thing's for sure, this season is far from over, and the Cowboys still have the talent and the potential to make a deep playoff run. But they'll need to fix that defense fast, or they risk falling behind in what is shaping up to be a very competitive NFC East. And now, Dallas Cowboys fans, I want to hear from you. What is your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Cowboys. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates. So stay tuned for the latest Dallas Cowboys news.